If you haven't seen Top Gun Maverick, this video is not really going to make sense to you, and you're probably not a person of class, and therefore you can probably just leave. Make sure you like the video on your way out, though. So, you guys that have seen Top Gun Maverick, you do recall the whole point of the movie was striking that enrichment facility or nuclear site or whatever, and required them to fly through a canyon. Hey, you know what would be really cool? We just had a great War Thunder game mode that was super similar, at least sort of, that you had cool new targets to strike. How fun would a game mode be that tested 5th generation combat fighters in a mission identical to this? Require aircrafts to, players to fly through certain, different sites like this, through a canyon wall, make cool runs, and, avoid SAM systems, modern SAM systems, and then strike a facility identical to the mission shown in Top Gun Maverick. Now, they could do a couple things with a game mode like this. One, they could have an identical layout. They fly through the canyon walls with the SAM systems above them, and then, there's 5th generation fighters that will ambush them on the way back. Now, Gaijin could do something like, hey, the 5th generation and SAM systems are all controlled by AI. This is like a 6-player mission, maybe a 4-player mission that you could do with your friends or with random people, have, hundreds and hundreds of these going at the same time. Or, they could do something that is a bit different. Have players in F-18s that have to catapult off of an aircraft carrier, fly underneath a barrage of tomahawks, go uncontested and not viewed into a canyon wall run like we saw in the movie, and then avoid SAM systems and players in Su-57 or other 5th gens. This gives Gaijin an ability to test how, 4th gen platforms like the F-18 could perform in an environment with 5th generation aircraft, as that's a big question that I'm sure everyone has. This could be something that's player controlled. You could have players for, the team that has the Su-57s. And I'm not necessarily saying Gaijin needs to add this in a sense of, let's give the Su-57 everything it has. In the movie, they could just give it the stealth, which would make it really hard to kill the radar. Obviously, not impossible. We did see a Su-57 downed in the movie via a radar missile, at least in the last scene. At least I thought it was an AMRAAM. Was it too actually sure? And we obviously saw, Maverick take down a couple in close quarters. Obviously, that's not realistic. The movie's not real. It's not necessarily how something like that would happen in real life. But since this is also, at the end of the day, a video game, it could be okay to have something fun. Now, the reason I bring this up is because I know Gaijin does want to see how 5th generation aircraft do, and I think a big question they have is how are 4th gens going to perform against 5th gens? And what better way to test it than by taking something that everyone loves Top Gun Maverick, everyone loves Top Gun, taking a mission that's identical to that, because Gaijin gave us, they showed us that, the player base showed Gaijin that we love new missions, we love game modes, especially the Nuclear Thunder game mode, because one, we got B-52s, we finally got strategic bombers, and we got a new game mode, we got a new mission, and it's something that's very similar in that layout, with just the extra, steps of a 5th gen, extra steps of possibly much, much smaller, but you have to do all the special flying. It could be so fun. If you don't think it's fun, I want to know why. I obviously know there's a lot of holes with the whole idea, and I can understand why someone might say it doesn't make sense. And if you think differently, let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. That's kind of the joy of making videos like this, is they're just ideas. End of the day, they're not necessarily going to happen, but everything that would make a fun game mode is laid out in Top Gun Maverick. And it also has the purpose of, Gaijin loves to test things in game modes. We see it all the time. We saw it in the Nuclear Thunder, we saw it with the World War I event, we saw it with the mechs back in, 2023? Gaijin does like to test for things. And we all know Su-57 Felon is an aircraft that's coming to War Thunder at some point, probably at the end of the year. 5th generation aircraft are coming at some point. And we know 5th gen and 4th gen are going to have to clash. It's just how the game's going to go. And a game mode that has F-18s going up against Su-57s, even if it's just limited numbers, could give Gaijin some valuable data. They could see how players think about how stealthy or unstealthy the Su-57 is. See what players say about the game mode. This is just something that I could see a lot of value out of happening. One, for the player base, because it's a fun game mode. Everyone loves fun game modes. And two, for Gaijin, because it lets them test things that they probably wouldn't be able to test otherwise. Like I said, please let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. Normally, I try to use images for the videos during, for the video during the video. I did not in this video because I wasn't actually sure legally what I could get away with for a video. Obviously, I didn't really want to mess around with Tom Cruise, especially, Top Gun Maverick. I'd rather he would not have to deal with monetization issues with the video, so if that's an issue, I do apologize. I did want to, trust me, I did, but obviously didn't because of the legal issues, possibly. Anyways, like I said, hope you guys have enjoyed this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.